How's it going? You ready? I am. We're the Familiars. My name's Joby Earl, the Dungeon Master. And, our group is actually not in a pickle. They just got out of a pickle. The world is their oyster. Faerun is their oyster. And we're going to see which way they choose to go, what choices they choose to make, and what the dice determine for how well they make those choices. I'm super pumped. I'm so glad that you're here. We're going to get right into it, but before we do, gosh, I just love introducing my friends. First and foremost, Alexandra Henriksen, playing Rooster, Dragonborn Barbarian. We've got Austin Durant. He's playing Thibodeaux, Human Bard. We've got Ben Horner. He's Captain Chowder. He's a Warforged sorcerer, a large panda construct. We've got Annalise Lawson, goggles and all, playing Worthy.
They're back.
Our Tiefling Cleric. We've got Zach Appelman playing Justin, our half-elf ranger. Not with us this week is John Doherty, but that's okay, because we're the Familiars. And we miss you, John. We love you. We miss you. But we know that you, John. We know that you are having a great time fly fishing.
Oh.
Is that what he's doing?
Blowing up a spot.
Really?
Yeah, he's fly fishing. He's a fisherman.
Really?
For real. Yeah, actually. Absolutely. For real.
Let's just say you're on my mind, John.
Is he in Montana?
Ooh, he might be in Montana.
He's so rugged.
I
travels.
know that he likes
Scotland?
fly fishing, and I know that he likes fly fishing in Montana.
Or like
I remember
Norway?
that now.
Yep.
I
Finland.
I think it's just Montana.
Finland,
Yeah.
Iceland,
Mongolia.
the fjords,
Yep.
I don't think it's any of those.
Yeah. It
salmon fishing in the Yemen.
might just be like,
don't think so.
Up Ossining area.
Yeah.
About 45 minutes.
Go
where
on
he
us.
is, at least. Do we have any announcements? I think we've got some announcements. As always, we've got this sweet merch that you can check out if you dig what we're doing. You want to tell the world about it. We've got some great stuff on our YouTube channel. We've got In Hot Water that you can see with interviews from Alex Henderson from her bathtub. And we just started doing some DMing videos, or DMing video, Uno, if you want to check out my workflow. I put it up. It comes with like shared documents and all, so it should be pretty fun. So check all that stuff out. Other than that,
Well, we're almost definitely gonna have a special guest next week.
Ooh.
boom.
A surprise guest player.
Now, will this
Super
be
pumped.
part of the campaign or a one-shot with this surprise guest? What should people expect when they tune in?
Sure.
It's going to be a one-shot. And I can tell you, fan base, that our one-shots will be taking place in the same universe and in the same chronology as our heroes are currently playing. Where and when depends a lot on schedules and who the guest is. But it's going to be fun. And Max is amazing, incredible. We love you, Max.
It was a surprise, Joby.
No, we didn't say the last name. Everyone just shut up.
Yeah.
Everyone shut up.
We're gonna take it to the max, and I'm gonna take it to the max in a little
Just
recap
want some
here.
more recap. Great.
Yeah, little recap time. What do we say? Yeah? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last time on the Familiars, Justin sprinted across the burning farm, shouting Grayson's name. There was no response. Bertram! Pippa! Still no response as he ran into the main house. Worthy and Thibodeaux followed while Chowder and Rooster were dealing with the unconscious tiefling assassin and the dead bodies of his cronies. Justin came down to the basement of the main house to find the dead body of Grayson, stabbed to death, lying in a pool of blood. Trying to make out the events surrounding his death, from the footprints on the floor, he saw that smaller shoes had been here, but he couldn't tell where. Worthy turned the spigot of one of the ale barrels to reveal a hidden passageway, where two small sets of footprints could be clearly seen. The main house was starting to fully go up in flames. Justin, Thibodeaux, and Worthy hurried out to meet the others. Chowder had found an interesting key with the insignia of the Zentarim on it, as well as a mysterious copper coin. Rooster was throwing the bodies of the half-orc and half-elf into the barn along with the bodies of the horses in hopes of covering their tracks. All eyes were on the skies now, and Chowder could just barely make out the faraway silhouette of a wyvern coming their way. They hurried in the opposite direction, heading east towards a place where the tree cover became thicker. And after setting up camp, the party woke up the tiefling and began a harsh interrogation. And they learned that Manshun, the head of the Zentarim, was in Barge Right In, and the search for the familiars had intensified. Grayson was merely a casualty of the conflict. And Justin slit his throat as Chowder saw the hobgoblin land their wyvern amongst the far-off flames engulfing Grayson's farm. He saw the hobgoblin look around, and then remount and fly off, traveling away from where the familiars made camp. That's where we pick up. That's our story. I'm sticking to it. Right now, we've had a long rest, and familiars, you are still, I believe, under Liamon's tiny hut that now Thibodeaux has become accustomed to make to just ward off any possible aggressors throughout the evening. You all slept through the night, Chowder, of course, keeping your standard watch. And question?
Yeah, I've I guess kind of a meta question. So has not enough time yet passed that we shouldn't expect the orcs to give word that the familiars are dead to the Zentarim? Has not enough time passed yet? Or does it appear like that didn't do anything, that it was not believed?
So, So the orcs and the hobgoblins, even though they were working together under the quote-unquote leadership of Gu, the hill giant lordess, didn't seem to be getting along. So the orcs, from what at least you understand, don't necessarily have a link to the Zentarim. It's the hobgoblin that seemed to have the link to the Zentarim. So this hobgoblin warlord that you've seen flying around on this wyvern that was treating with Gu, that sort of took the group of ogres and goblins out to search for you. That is what you are beginning to learn. This humanoid seems to be in league not only with the now deceased Gu, but also with the Zentarim, playing a couple different sides, if that makes sense. The orcs, sure, as far as you understand, have gone back to the woods.
Okay.
Live their woody life.
I told them.
So they were going to go tell the hobgoblins.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be like a few steps to get to the Zents. It's going to have to go through the hobgoblins via the orc. It's a little janky.
It's an inefficient bureaucracy.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Red
So,
tape.
Familiars. Let me just show you what we're looking at here.
And we awake leveled up.
Oh, Joby Earl.
What?
Wow.
For those on the podcast, Joby just blew our minds with some 3D graphics.
For those on the podcast, go ahead, delete your app and change your approach to the familiars.
Yeah.
Wait, can we do like a little visual zoom in on these folk? I want to see.
So we've got Rooster here, played by
Nice.
Alex Henriksen. We've got Worthy.
Nice.
Whoa.
We've got Justin.
Huge fucking arrow.
That's a big.
We've got Captain Chowder.
So that's what I look like.
And we've got Thibodeaux. With, isn't that cool? The Lord's Alliance little piece of paper.
Oh, nice.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
And there's Gruyere at his feet.
Oh!
are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
Where did you make these?
You made them on
Annalise,
Hero Forge.
Annalise made them on Hero Forge, and now Tailspire. You can link
That's
your
awesome.
Hero Forge account to Tailspire and do all these cool things. So, anyway, familiars, this is what we're looking at. For everyone on the podcast, yeah, check the stream. And
yes, we've awoken leveled.
leveled up to level 7. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh gosh, I feel
we
a
know-
little more powerful.
So, familiars, the day is yours. Feel free to ask any questions, talk amongst yourselves. But I'll say this, Chowder, you, of course, have been watching the whole evening. And Chowder, you stand up just to get a sort of another look at the vantage of Grayson's farm, which is quite far away. I mean, probably a quarter of a mile, half a mile, something like that. You feel, again, secure in these woods. But the flames have died down, and now it's just smoke emanating from the rubble. Justin, you, I'll say, are also up and awake and up next to Chowder, just trying to get a bead on where best to follow the direction of the tunnel that I remember you were very intent on following. Everybody else, the day is yours. Seems to be a moment of peace, at least at the moment.
I think Rooster's
I
still
would say
sleeping.
there's a sense of
Roosters just-
urgency from Justin to go find these kids who are on their own, presumably in the woods. So I'm probably getting up very early and getting the pack together.
Great. Okay, so you all see Justin now, just packing up his things, rolling up the bedroll. Rooster's still sleeping. Thibodeaux, Worthy, where are you guys at?
I think I'm awake also, watching Justin roll up his bedroll and break camp.
And I'm awake, took myself a little bit away from the group to just study my prayer book a little bit, say my morning prayers.
Great.
Justin says to the group, I'd like to get moving as quickly as possible. These children are all alone, spent the night out there already. Don't want to leave any more time for them to get into trouble.
Sure, yeah. So, how does one go about tracking a couple of kids? We have what? How do we do this, Justin?
So, DM, I feel like I took a bead on the direction that tunnel was going, and I know where we are in relation to the farmhouse where it started. So I'm sort of going to be looking for any signs of, like, changes in the terrain or places, like, rock groupings on the ground where it could be coming out from.
Right. You,
I might
Got this-
even do a sort of a little Viggo Mortensen-esque head on the ground to listen to sounds of hollowness and sort of tap on,
nice.
you know.
Did someone say Viggo Mortensen?
Someone did
Rooster
say Viggo
awakens.
Mortensen.
Oh, Rooster's up.
just on. Go ahead and make a nature check.
Okay. And with this, we're on favored terrain. I don't know if that matters.
Oh, it's a
I
great
hope
question.
it matters, because otherwise I rolled a 5.
Let's see here. Just checking. Favorite terrain.
Justin's like, this is dirt, right?
You guys see Justin start to sort of like pick up like clumps of dirt, but like he keeps looking over at you as if he's trying to act as if he knows what he's doing, but he seems to be very emotionally distraught at the moment. He has a hard time getting his. Justin, you have a hard time sort of just really trying to get some focus here, as I also just look at your.
I have
ability
advantage
here.
on survival checks to track people who are like my favorite enemies, and humans are my favorite enemies.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that
Humans.
you can get advantage on this.
All right.
That is a kind dungeon
That's a
master.
kind
Yeah.
DM.
Yeah,
I
well,
would not have.
That
22.
is an empathetic DM, one might say.
Justin, after a moment of sort of harried, adrenaline-filled blankness, you take a couple breaths and listen in. Everything gets quiet, and you can hear the birds chirping, the wind through the trees. You begin to get the sense that, yes, we are in the midst of the change of seasons, and you begin to look around and see the changes around you in your natural surroundings, and it's as if all of the colors once again become brighter, and that trained calmness that you've worked so hard to achieve as a ranger returns, thankfully. You look back to the smoking rubble of Grayson's farm and just do some mental calculations about where the tunnel must have originated from. And placing yourself there, you determine that it was traveling, to the best of your ability, due east. Whenever you try to due east. And it's actually going in the direction that you all left from Grayson's. So for a moment, you actually look below you and realize that you would actually be standing somewhat over this tunnel. Since what you can see from Grayson's rubble to here, there's no opening. And you begin to sort of look around this small environment of pine and pine trees and rock, and there's no opening around here. So you just keep following this invisible line out east from where you are. And this is where it's headed towards the high forest. The high forest is still fairly far away, but the plains are giving way to more tree cover, and you're in the Decern Valley, which is this hilly country, and you can see that the trees, as you approach the high forest, get thicker and thicker, and you can't see, at least from where you are, any trapdoors or openings or caves or what have you. But you do know that if, to the best of your knowledge, if you traveled east and kept your ears and eyes open with that 22, you'd probably be able to find something if there were anything.
Okay. That's what I'd like to do.
Great. All right. Anybody else? Does anybody else need to do anything before you leave? Anybody else want to go over anything? Don't have to, but just checking.
Leave no trace, familiars.
Okay.
Take only memories.
Leave it better than you found it, even.
Only you can prevent Faerun fires.
There you go.
God.
Good lord.
So-
Thank you for watching The Familiars. Please stay.
Thanks to
Okay, yeah.
We're cool, we swear.
we swear, please. Thanks to Mike Schley, we've got this actually more detailed map of just the Decern Valley.
Ooh.
So just to put us where we are, you can
Mike
see-
Schley?
Yeah, Mike Schley. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Mike.
We've got Golden Fields down here. We've got Amphale. We've got Bardrite and Wamford. You guys traveled north. Here is the old tower.
Wow.
Okay.
Where are we? We're at the house?
This is Grayson's farm.
That is it. Okay.
Gotcha.
What's
this
that
is-
thing next to the old tower? That little ruin looking
So this
thing?
is the where
Oh,
you
I see.
had the
Yeah.
encounter with the Blue Bear tribe and Kriega Moonmusk. Gotta check her last name, but yeah, Kriega.
Wow.
Our amazing foray into diplomacy.
Yeah. So
What I say?
you can also see that here's the high forest over here, and you can see that the rises in the countryside are becoming more distinct. Cool.
Is Amphil on this map?
Yes, it is. Just in the lower,
Yes.
right down here.
Yes. Okay, that's not far. It's not far.
And for those of you who participated in prior campaigns, there's the Westwood. So, here we are.
How did I not play this game when I was a kid? This is like
Isn't that cool?
amazing. It's amazing.
All right. So, we head off east. You travel for the better part of the morning. I should first ask, what is our... I'm assuming that Justin is going first, but can I get our marching orders?
I'll bring up the rear.
Okay.
I'm right in front of Rooster.
Okay.
Okay. I'll be in front of Worthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thibodeaux's shoved towards the front.
You go on.
Feeling cocky.
All right. You travel through the countryside for the better part of the morning.
Traveling song?
Hey, we got
Too early.
too early.
Okay, right on, right on.
Actually,
Too early.
can I want to scoot back to Worthy for a moment. Morning, Worthy.
My cap.
Been meaning to ask you. You're the expert. You're the Doom Guide.
Oh, you said it right.
I've been practicing. In fact, I go into my pouch and I take out this little journal, and I've written Doom Guide like, I don't know, 100,000 times over like 50 pages, and I show. Steve, I do this while I'm keeping watch. Oh gosh, it gets boring looking up at that black sky. Anyway, you're the expert. What do you reckon happens when you die?
Well, there is a plane beyond this one called the Fugue Plane, and that is where Lord Kellenvor presides over the City of Judgment. So when you die, if the proper prayers have been said, you go there, and you wait for your deity to come and claim you. At least that's what's supposed to happen, if all goes well. Sometimes things go wrong.
And if they go wrong?
Well, that's something I'm a little concerned about. You see, souls are a desired commodity in certain realms, most notably the Nine Hells. And sometimes the devils of Avernus might convince you to leave waiting for your god and go down to the Nine Hells, skip the line, so to speak, and you essentially become a lower devil. They have a soul quota, so I've read.
Can I get in on this action real quick and ask a question?
Sure.
I've never understood proper prayers. Do you think gods care about proper prayers and not like how many people you've killed? That seems more important to me.
Sorry, wait, are you saying... I don't see the relation between how many people you've killed and prayers.
Well, you don't worship Malar. But I guess what I'm saying is, you said that in order to get to the fugue playing, if the proper prayers have been said, you go to where you're supposed to go, right? But like, do you think like some kid that maybe got killed and nobody prayed over them never got to the fugue state? An innocent person, because someone didn't do the right prayers, maybe didn't get to go where they're supposed to go, like maybe kids that never...
Worthy kind of like takes a moment and kind of looks a little askance up at Rooster, and is just sort of says like, most souls find their way. The prayers just help them along.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but we have Malar, Kellenvor, countless others. Who's right?
Well, Look, I don't want to bore you with theology. The existence of Kelemvor doesn't negate the existence of any other god. He just gives the souls a place to wait until their god, Malar, Shantia, Athander, come and claim them.
Alar would love all of you to worship. I cannot tell you how fun it will be in heaven, going on the great hunt. You know, all of us together hunting, best friends for the rest of time.
Does sound nice.
Yeah, come over here. Malar's a good god. But, you know, I'll watch out for you in the afterlife. Anyway, I bet I'll be bouncing around.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks, Worthy. Some good food for thought there. I'll be chewing over that.
Yeah,
As you
thanks,
guys continue, just on soon, you see the Decern Road. This is a road that cuts north-south across the Decern Valley, heading up towards Belliard through the Somber Hills. Not as well traveled as the Iron Road. This one is more, 2 wagon divots through the hills, but it winds its way through the hill country, trying to find as flat land as possible before it begins to ascend up into the Somber Hills. And go ahead and make a perception check.
All or just J-Dog?
I'm going to say
J-Dog.
J-Man.
24.
JD.
Right, J-Train.
24.
24.
J-Dog.
You've
J-Train.
You
Stupid.
have been nervous since there hasn't been any outward signs of the tracks of Bertram and Pippa, and you haven't yet found any openings.
Also, this is a long way for Grayson to have dug a tunnel. Like, this is
Long way.
odd.
Long way. And you almost didn't notice the road coming up, but then luckily keyed back in, saw the road, and then just started putting your head on a swivel, as it were. And you look south, nothing. You look north, and just off in the distance, you can see 3 riders. They are riding at a pretty fast clip, and immediately your hand goes to your bow, and the other hand goes to your quiver. But then you see that one of them's holding up this big, tall flagpole with this flag on top. And on top of the pole, there is this green flag fluttering in the wind. You look down, and you can see that they are dressed in the garb of the Lord's Alliance. And it's not soon after that you spot them that you can hear a voice begin to reverberate a little bit further than one might expect. And what you hear is, "In the name of Lyrel Silverhand and the Lord's Alliance, we would like to inform you that it is now safe to come out of your homes. The giant threat has passed. The threat level has been reduced to green. The High Lord of Waterdeep has led us to victory, 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 victory." As it, travels out a bit further from where you would expect. Any magic user who's adept at thaumaturgy recognizes the use of a thaumaturgical spell.
Yes.
Are they riding towards us, or
They're
away
riding.
from us?
They're riding south. I'll move your token here. They're riding south along the road. If you guys stay where you are, you will be. You will meet them in just a few moments, or you can choose to do something else. What do you guys choose to do?
I'd like to flag them down.
Okay.
Tibbs, you want to talk to these nerds?
Yeah, Tib, you're up.
What are your people? Officially now.
Sure.
Great.
I'd want to ask them also if they've seen two children.
Okay. Great. After a few moments, the riders approach. They see you, and who you see are the one in the lead looks to be a male gnome. He's got this angular face with blonde hair and these bright amber eyes, and on his horse, which is kind of more of a tall pony, he's actually got a very long pike that is strapped to the side. There's behind is a male half-elf, and has these just like large, welcoming eyes, and wears this, crisp and clean ringmail underneath their Lord's Alliance tabard, armed with a short sword. And then next to the half-elf is a female human that is wearing this Lord's Alliance tabard over animal skins, and has this sort of messy black hair, and on her horse is this huge long sword that looks like anybody other than Rooster would have an issue holding. But they all stop, and the gnome takes his pony, sort of approaches you. Hail, adventurers! I trust that you heard my message of the Lord's Alliance victory over the hill giants in the Decern Valley.
The Lord's Alliance victory, huh?
Yes!
Tell us, what have you heard about this victory over the hill giants, brother?
Well, what we have heard is the gods' honest truth. We are carrying the message of Lyrel Silverhand, the High Lord of Waterdeep, who has sent her forces into the Decern Valley to combat the evil and danger presented by the hill giant and the hill giant lord herself, Goo. So we have heard. The structure from which Goo was leading her forces has been destroyed. Water now flows freely up and down the Decern River, and Golden Fields will once again be transporting its luscious bounty to the surrounding area.
And who have you heard is responsible for dispatching the giant queen of Groodhaug?
Why, none other than Thibodeaux himself, a member of the Lord's Alliance. He has taken his fellow adventurers along the Decern River north, treated with Goo herself, and all we know now is that Groodhaug lies in rubble. We are all in debt to Thibodeaux, member of the Lord's Alliance.
And have you met this Ser Thibodeaux?
No one has yet to have the honor of seeing him return from his victorious adventure north along the Decern River. We are all a titter in the Lord's Alliance, hoping to meet him.
Yes, well, I'd like to lay eyes on him myself and thank him for what he done.
Justin shouts up to the is it a gnome?
Yes.
To the gnome, he says, have you seen two children running about along the road as you rode down?
We're going to roll for it. They look amongst each other. Oh, I haven't. Let me ask my... Tavish? Alyssa? Did you happen to notice two children? And they both shake their head. No, sorry. It's actually been fairly quiet. Unfortunately, the giants were quite effective in their destruction and their destructive means. We have been told to deliver a message, but I have to admit that there haven't been many people to deliver the message to.
Well, he says, a farm was attacked yesterday, burned to the ground. Their father was killed, but we think the two children may have escaped. If you can keep an eye out for them, bring him somewhere safe if you find him, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, yes, of course. A farm burned, you say?
By the Zentarum.
They all share a look. The woman with the long sword brings her horse around and says, "The Zentarum, you say?"
We have a
That's right.
stronghold in Bardrite, and we've heard that the snail is there. At the Flying Dagger Inn.
The gnome gets so excited at this piece of news that his horse, his pony, kind of registers that and starts to kind of get jittery itself.
Whoa, horsey.
Whoa, whoa,
horsey.
Oh, she's spooked.
No, she's not spooked. She's just energetic. Excuse me. And they turn.
Jesus.
And the woman comes forward and says, "A flying dagger, you say? Flying dagger at Bardrite." The male half-elf comes forward and says, "Yes, we were aware that the Zentarum have taken up a strong position here in Bardrite, but knowledge that the snail is here himself. Can we ask where you got this information?"
Worthy looks to Cap, as if to say, like, what do you think?
Yeah, we got it from a band of Ice Shield orcs. We're privy to the information. We're returning to the High Forest.
Looks shared once again, and the woman says, "Ice Shield orcs, can I ask, who are you, and who might we have the honor of speaking with that seem to know so much about the Zentarum's movements and treat with ice shields?"
Oh, just some peaceable conversation. And they're the ones that are the experts on the Zentarum's movements. Although, I'll say this, if you lot want a little backup and, storm barge right in, knock down some doors, put some dope on the table. We'd be ready.
God, man.
We'd be ready and willing.
Says the female member of the Lord's Alliance.
And as I sort of make the offer to accompany, I'm kind of side-eyeing the rest, do we want to? Sorry, I'm just do.
And just under my breath, I'm just like,
next
no.
Yeah, or best. We're just a band of adventurers. Probably best. I get excited. Best to leave it to the experts, to the ones that are trained, the elite, if you will.
The gnome comes forward and says, "Well, the ongoing investigation or interests of the Lord's Alliance in regards to Bardrite Inn will have to remain classified for members only. But we thank you for the information and would like to to be peaceable members of this Decern Valley, ask of your names, please. What is your name? I've never met a panda construct before. Your name, please." He takes out a little sort of parchment.
My name's Captain Chowder.
Captain Chowder. Yes, okay, and, you, looking to you, Rooster.
Gruser.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Could you speak up, please?
Yes, my name is Gruser.
Make a deception check.
Damn it. Anyway, I heard that the Thibodeaux and all of Thibodeaux's best friends, who are also good adventurers, are dead. Which is so tragic.
Let's get that deception roll, please.
Gruser's my name, Gruzin's my game.
The gnome begins writing down Gruser. I've never heard Gruser before. The half elf brings his horse around and says, I don't believe you. Interesting that someone would want to deceive members of the Lord's Alliance.
Oh, fuck.
Listen, I'm having a tough morning because I had a horse seat that now I realize that I left at camp. And it's reminded me of the time I left my best friend Goose also there. And I keep forgetting I have
Bets.
I keep forgetting my pets.
The half elf looks behind you. Looks behind you, Rooster.
I start flailing my arms though in front of it, so he can't see behind me, and I'm just trying to cause a sad ruckus. Because I did forget my horsey, I just remembered that I'm really pumped about it.
Tiefling.
Oh no!
What's your name?
Sorry.
Aelvim.
Make a deception check.
It's the first one that came to mind.
Cannot believe I forgot my horse.
Is my best friend's name. She died. My name is not Aelvim.
Well, they just rolled a 4.
You see the female with the large sword take out a small stone, and interestingly, she begins talking to it.
Oh no!
Oh.
Aelvim is your best friend's name. What is your name?
Worthy kind of looks over at Thibodeaux just to be like, I don't know how to lie. You're supposed to be good at this. And it's just like, Worthy.
Have you
Just kind of just
registered?
glaring at Thibodeaux like, can you fucking do something about this?
Have you registered with your local Church of Lathander?
Listen, what's...
I'm
sorry,
speaking
what's
to
your
the
handle?
tiefling.
Just...
I am an adventurer from Baldur's Gate and have just recently come to understand of the darkness within the Church of Kellenfall. So I'm currently seeking my local Church of Lathander and would much appreciate, as a stranger to this area, if you could tell me where that would be.
As a stranger to the Decern Valley, I can understand how you might not have received the most recent developments, necessities, and rules that have been enacted, but due to the danger presented by not only the Hill Giants, but other giant factions throughout Faerun, the Church of Lathander is working very closely with the Lord's Alliance in an attempt to retain security amongst the free people of this plane. That being said, we've asked all folk with any connection to other planes, especially those dealing with planes whose entire existence is based upon the destruction of our fair realm, to register with their local church, place of worship, but specifically in regards to Lathander, and offer up any information that they may have. It is a great help to the Lord's Alliance and all people who love peace and harmony. So we will take this as perhaps a warning, just so the next time you do treat with members of the Lord's Alliance that you remain in proper standing. I hope you understand.
Of course, apologies. The Lord of the Light be praised. So I understand, as I'm new to this regulation in this area, I appreciate the explanation, but so I'm clear, tieflings need to register, specifically.
Any folk with either any kind of connection to the lower planes. There have been strange goings-ons in the cities up and down the Sword Coast, and it seems that a lot of them have involved devils appearing. This is very new and can be at best frightening to the people. So we've asked just for all of the patriots who would like the continuation of civilized society up and down the Sword Coast to do their part.
Of course. I can't help my birth, but I can help how I act. So,
exactly. That's my thoughts exactly. Yes.
Yes. I hope I'm not prying, but as a concerned, lawful citizen of Faerun, I hadn't heard of devils appearing in the cities. Are you able to share any information so I can be sure of any warning signs and report them to my local church?
Make a persuasion check. The gnome comes forward and says, "Yes, thank you. I would love to give you any information. Any information passed along makes it that much stronger. Devils have been seen in Waterdeep. There seems to have been some kind of consortium with the Zentarum and devil folk in order to bring down the nobility of Waterdeep and attempt to circumvent the ruling structures at present in place in cities like Waterdeep. This is the shining star of the Sword Coast, and so we can only assume that similar things and goings-on have been going on in places like Neverwinter and Luskin, Everlund. Who knows, maybe as far north as the spine of the world. Baldur's Gate is no stranger to devils and devil worship. We all know the corruption that has overtaken the Church of Kelemvor, sadly. But we can tell you that there have been many, many sightings throughout the Sword Coast, up and down, mostly due to relationships with nobles and the rich folk.
Sorry, the nobles are seeing them, or let me explain. Fortunately, I left the Church of Kelemvor at Baldur's Gate 5 years ago. Lathander be praised.
Lathander be praised!
Have only heard rumors of the corruption in the Church of Kelemvor. I don't really have this common knowledge since I've been on the road and in back alleys. Could you tell me what you might know? I'd so appreciate it.
Why, yes, of course. Thank you. I am so happy to see someone so enthused and intrigued and excited to protect the realms. As he looks to the half-elf, who's just like giving you a death stare. The other member of the Lord's Alliance with the stone has sort of is not actively speaking into it anymore, but is keeping it quite close, and you can see her eyes going to the skies. The gnome says...
Justin interrupts and says, "We need to be going," and he sort of gives the group like a little bit of a sort of... and says, "We're on direct orders from Pincus Wilmar Thibodeaux himself to rescue these children. We need to be on our way. Thank you for your assistance."
Excuse me, Pincus Wilmar Thibodeaux. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. How could you have orders from Thibodeaux himself? I'm an active member of the Lord's Alliance. I have been traveling up and down the Decern Road, day and night, alerting the local folk of their safety and the victory. How could you, of all people? What is your name, sir?
Really quick, do I see anything in the sky?
Not at present.
Okay. My name doesn't matter. We're gonna be on our way.
Your name doesn't matter. Give me your name, sir. Do you know what it is to lie and cheat the Lord's Alliance? We have fellow members on griffins riding around the skies, ready to descend at any moment. We have stones that send messages to them through magical means to get them here as quickly as possible.
I turn to Thibodeaux and I say, "You gonna handle this, or do I need to start putting arrows in eyeballs?"
Excuse my friend. He is also upset about the horse.
Yes.
I cannot tell you how much we love this horse.
And the children. Both very upsetting.
I am
so
an animal
appreciate-
gnome myself, but this is no excuse to
You're right.
be so incredibly rude and impertinent.
Okay, all right.
So sorry about that.
So sorry.
Yes.
Well,
What is your
it's getting
name?
late.
What is your name? Looking at you, Justin. What is your name, sir?
I looked at Thibodeaux.
Just down, tell him your name.
My name's Justin fucking Dusk Dancer. I work for
Justin
your boss. Let us
fucking,
go.
Your middle name cannot be fucking. I demand. He's completely just out of his mind, and he finally looks to you, Thibodeaux, and says, "And finally, your name, sir."
Thibodeaux, who is still dressed as a wizard.
All three freeze, and the gnome looks to you and says, "Oh, very funny, sir. Very funny. Thibodeaux is 8 feet tall and shoots lightning bolts from his ass. You, sir, could not be Thibodeaux. You, sir, could not be Thibodeaux."
No, I didn't say that I was. My name is Rendelax. Humble hedge wizard.
Rendelax.
Accompanying
Thank you.
a few adventurers on their way to deliver a message to Amphale.
Finally, some
What my
manners.
And Justin said is true. We did encounter Ser Thibodeaux on his way from Groodhog to bear word to Lady Silverhand of the vanquishing of the hill giants. We are, in that respect, on official business from the Lord's Alliance, and we ask that you please let us go.
Go ahead and make a your choice, persuasion or deception, with advantage.
Let's see. Deception. 25.
Nice.
Nice.
Rendelax, we thank you for this information, and I must admit, I find myself a bit envious. What was he like, Ser Thibodeaux?
He was a man, as you said, the like of which I'd never beheld. He was 8 foot tall, at least. Long, black hair, a silver beard, shining armor.
Smelled of honey mead.
Muscles everywhere.
I hope that you can lay your eyes on Thibodeaux one day
Me too.
and see what a real lord looks like.
Well, got their names.
Great if you could
Tavish?
just. Oh,
Alyssa? These folk have orders from Ser Thibodeaux himself. We would like to apologize for any uncomfortableness that has existed between us, and wish you well on your way. You see the woman with the sort of tousled black hair pick up her stone and whisper a few things into it, and then take the stone and put it into her pocket. And he says,
I should warn you that there's been, sightings of hobgoblin riders in the sky. Perhaps your griffin riders could keep an eye out for them and be sure that the Decern Valley is safe from further menace.
She picks up the stone out of her pocket and whispers a few things.
Excuse me, can you stop texting, please?
And
Having a conversation.
the gnome looks to her and back to you, Rendelax, and says, "You know, since you have been in contact with Ser Thibodeaux himself, well, would you mind if, here," and he takes out a stone of his own. And he hands it to you, Rendelax. He says, "This is a sending stone. I don't know if you are familiar with it, but what you can do is, all you must do is whisper a message into the stone, and other members of the Lord's Alliance will hear it. Make sure that the message is 25 words or less, but anywhere you are in the Decern Valley, if you speak into this, well, any friend of Thibodeaux is a friend of ours, and you can receive assistance from the Lord's Alliance. It would be a great help. We like to have our eyes and ears everywhere, as it were, and if you're working for us, well, we can work for you. If you find yourself in a bind, feel free to just speak into the sending stone, let us know where you are, and we will get there as soon as possible. It's not immediate. We will have to be on griffin riders or horses, but we will come as soon as we can."
Thank you, and 1,000 blessings on you and your riders. Long may Lyrell's Silverhand reign.
At that, the woman says, sort of like almost to herself, but out of what you can see is visible frustration, she almost spits out the name of Silverhand. And the gnome looks back and says, "Excuse me, Alyssa." And Alyssa snaps back and says, "Oh, yes, Silverhand. Back in her Tower of Gold, she knows that the giants are a problem and that she can't solve that without us Whitecoats being out in the field. So she comes up with this little show to show people that make them think that she has a plan, that they can trust her and the powers that be." The gnome says, What are you saying, Alyssa? How could you be saying this?" And Alyssa snaps back and says, "The people are scared. They can feel that the Alliance's grip on things is loosening. Giants, dragons. It's anarchy. Sometimes I don't know why I took this job in the first place. And, the half-elf, Tavish, looks to her, and then looks back to you, and says, well, we've been going from farmstead to farmstead with this fucking flag. We're yelling at people to come out of their houses because it's safe, and we were telling them to go into their basements to help them to do what? I don't know. As if hiding in your basement is going to help you if 3 giants come stomping around your front yard. It's a waste of time if you ask me as well. The gnome is just... We are the Lord's Alliance! We are bringing safety to these lands. Half-elf looks to you, Worthy, and says, just make sure that you abide by the rules of the land that you're in. It's easier that way. Worthy. And the gnome looks to the party and says, well, we have a job to do. Come, we must continue to announce the safety and the presence of the Lord's Alliance throughout the Decern Valley. We hope you find the 2 children that you are quarrying after. And remember, use the sending stone if you ever find yourself in need of help of the Lord's Alliance. The other 2 look to
Yes, thank you. And may the Lord of Light guide your path.
Yours as well. Light and hope to all. Lathander bringing light to the world, as they sort of go off.
Oh, drive carefully. Oh, by the way, this operation is kind of a secret mish. Go ahead and lose those names from the ledger. It comes from Thibodeaux, not me. It comes from the big man. All right, take care.
Captain Chowder, go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage.
Right.
It's not deception.
First roll a 20. 20.
They sort of stopped. Oh, yes, I understand now. The deception, the ruse. It's all from Thibodeaux. It's all from Thibodeaux. And you see them rip up the page.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, I love to see it. Yes.
Right off. Into the distance. All right. Justin, go ahead and make. What is it you get advantage with? Survival checks or nature checks?
Survival check.
Great. Go ahead and make another survival check.
With advantage or not?
With advantage.
15.
15. Okay. Again, no tracks, but you do have a sense, just sort of following the contours of the land, that maybe heading east, continuing to head east, would be beneficial. You trust your skills thus far that you haven't missed anything.
Yeah.
That you just need to keep going.
Okay.
Y'all head out
Hey, worthy girl. Oh, if we're heading out, like, on
and
the
continue
road, right?
walking and can have a conversation while we walk.
Worthy girl.
Yeah.
You alright?
Nah.
Ben, are you alright?
Benny's not alright either.
Yeah, that sucked. You handled it well, though, Word.
Well handled.
Nothing I'm not used to. Just
Not
a little
okay.
bit more intense than usual.
Yeah, that got intense.
Yes.
Listen, I just thought it was best that I didn't hitch my wagon to the Lord's Alliance just yet. Seems like they're in league with some questionable characters, and I wanted to keep my distance.
Well,
I think that's right.
I think that's wise. I sort of panicked. Sorry, I let the cat out of the bag. Gee willikers, I hope I didn't cause lasting damage. They seem We left on a good note.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Well, to Amphel go we.
By way of east.
the children.
Oh, by the way, the children. Yes. No, I haven't forgotten the children. Sorry.
We can never forget the children.
No. I take that very seriously. I'm a
You
father.
guys continue onward, and as you move, the tree cover becomes a bit less sporadic. And just on with the rolls that you have thus far, pretty soon you see the mouth of a small cave. It is tucked into this sort of snarl of trees that have sort of wound themselves around the base of this hill and these rocks that are jutting out of the ground. And immediately you just beeline it. And you see that there are the unmistakable tracks of two children running out. You take a look inside. The tracks are going out. But you take a look inside, and you have dark vision, right?
Hell yeah.
You look down, and you can see that there is a deep cave system, almost, that now you see. You put two and two together, and you realize that the tunnel that they made probably opened up to a larger pre-existing structure that allowed them to travel incredibly far, incredibly fast.
Dungeon.
And knowing Grayson, who was always the picture of I'm losing the word, just precaution. A little post-mortem tip of the hat to the man for protecting his family in such a way. You now have tracks to follow, and all of you see just immediately pick up the pace, and all of you are now not at a full run, but at a very powerful walk to keep up.
Can I grab Thibodeaux and Worthy to just move faster? Let's go.
Sure, as long as it's consensual. Thibodeaux and Worthy. You're definitely gonna have to make a strength check to do both.
All right.
Right. So, Rooster.
I just want to move it, you know.
I can carry you.
Yeah. Every day you can choose jumping, swimming, or schlepping.
Today I choose violence.
Okay.
Today.
And a separate strength check for Thibodeaux, please, with disadvantage.
There's a 21 with disadvantage. Man, this is. Oh, okay, great. Well, Thibodeaux, I dropped you.
Worthy, do you consent to be picked
is
up?
it like fireman style, or are you kind of carrying them like a baby?
I was hoping to do fireman style on both.
Fireman style is great. Worthy is just kind of like, honestly, a little too down in the mouth to resist. So she's just kind of like sack of potatoes
Actually,
over Rooster's
Worthy,
shoulder.
I don't want to see you sad. I'm your horsey, okay? And I put Worthy up over my shoulder.
Rooster, assuming that Worthy at heart is still just sad about the horse, takes Worthy and puts her over their shoulder. Thibodeaux, it's a little awkward, and you, as gracefully as possible, just sort of pretend that you were trying to tie your sash instead of picking him up. But you guys all make your way deeper into this small bit of woods that seems to be some kind of early offshoot of the high forest. Just as you're moving, and you see that these children were moving at a strong pace, but as you guys have been traveling half a day, now more, going into the afternoon, you can see that the gait is getting more and more tired,
Any signs of blood or pursuit?
No signs of pursuit. No signs of any kind of tussle. But you do see now that there are places where they stopped and took what looks to be a rest, and it looks like the younger of the two, Pippa, was having the most trouble. And at one point, you see that 2 tracks turn into 1 pair of tracks, but those tracks seem to be carrying more weight. The light begins to move from the late afternoon into the early evening, and it is here where I'm going to have everybody make a perception check.
16.
Got a 16 from Justin.
Ooh, 6.
12.
Okay.
15.
All right. Fantastic. Let's see, who hears it first? Just going back over the rolls.
16.
Yeah, 16 beats it.
Yeah.
Just on. As you're moving along these tracks, you look around and see that there is this. Make a nature check as well. Make a nature check. Nothing's about to happen. Nothing's about to happen. Totally normal.
22.
Ooh. Yeah.
As you're moving, you see that there are something off about the trees here. These are tall, full pines, and it's interesting to you that so far from the high forest there seems to be such a close cropping of woods, and the light is getting darker, but it seems like it's just a bit darker here. There's just an unnaturalness to it. And you can see that the footprints are now the footprints of someone trying to move very quickly. And you move quicker with it. It's then that you hear the distant but unmistakable cry of help from a young child's voice.
Okay.
Run. You start running.
I start going, but I'd like to move as fast as I can quietly,
Okay.
so it's not so.
So you're moving at the top of normal speed. I understand. You are not going to break into a full careless sprint, but you start moving. Everyone starts moving.
Follow, yeah.
As you follow the sound, you see that the tracks are in the direction of the sound, and you begin to hear the louder cries. Help! Help! Somebody! Help us! Someone!
Do we
Is
all
there
hear it
anybody
now?
there? Now everybody hears it. Help! Help us! Help us! Somebody help us! Please help us! Is there
I shimmy
anyone
off
there?
Rooster's shoulders and I just start running.
Okay. Everyone's now just pretty much running. You see that the ground around you is beginning to rise, and now before you see one sort of very large rocky hill. On the front of it is this sort of cliff face, and at the base of the cliff face is this wide open cave mouth, and the cave mouth, it looks to be about 30 feet high, 30 feet wide, and you can see that there actually, Justin, is a bit of firelight coming from inside the cave, and also there are these sort of strange glowing blue quartz-like mineral growths coming out of the base of it. This is not completely out of the ordinary. You can see rock growths like this around the Decern Valley, but they are quite rare, and they just give sort of this eerie glow to the whole area. It is there that you see a human woman run out of the cave, and this is an older woman, looks to be probably in her maybe in her 70s, but is wearing this rough spun clothing, a woolen, basically work long skirt, but her hair has come undone, and she's running out, and you can now hear her cry out, "Help! Help! Is there anyone? Please! Please!" Are you guys, what are you guys doing?
I want to take out stealthily, quietly take out my wand of detect magic and point it at her and detect her magic.
Okay, great. Chowder, you're taking out your wand of detect magic. What is everybody else doing? Rooster, Worthy, Thibodeaux, Justin?
I'm sort of hiding behind anything I can hide behind while he's checking for magic.
Okay. We don't recognize this woman, right?
No. Worthy, Rooster, Thibodeaux, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I take a cue from Justin and...
okay. I'm just going to say there's a couple trees around there that you can do that. Rooster, Worthy?
I think to myself, I'm so glad I chose climbing this morning, and then I grab my great axe.
Okay. And are you standing still, or are you taking some cover?
I guess I'm taking cover.
Okay.
I take cover.
Everyone make a stealth check.
Wish we had that P-Watt.
9.
15.
Oh no, Ben's computer just died.
Oh no.
But look at his image.
Everyone do Ben.
Oh no.
Perfect.
Should we do a technical difficulty screen?
Should we?
6.
All right. Go ahead. And we had some stealth checks here, so we've got Rooster with a 6, Worthy with a 15, Thibodeaux with a 20, Justin with a 9, and Chowder. Can you go ahead? Did you make a stealth check that didn't come through?
I don't think I knew.
Go ahead and make a stealth.
That.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
All right.
This is basically going to determine.
Chow.
Sorry, I'm doing this on my iPad. Can someone roll for me?
I got you.
Thank you, man.
We're going to do a stealth check. When I roll, it's
Yeah. It's gonna be +1.
Oh, I got it. Oh, I'm rolling from your
Oh
sheet,
yeah, there
bro.
it is. All right.
Okay, so we got a 16, got a 15, we've got a 20. The average of the group skill check helps you guys stay stealth.
Nice.
Let me show you. Let me just give you a visual as to sort of what we're looking at. How about that? Would you guys like to see that?
Yes,
I would
please.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just bring this up for you real quick. All right. That.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So there's the map of the cave.
Whoa, spooky.
Here you guys are,
Joby.
and you can see here is this woman. Cool. We're just gonna assume that you guys are all taking cover. Moving you back.
Nice.
And the reason that you guys are all lit up is just because it's a little bit easier to find you on the board. Okay, and then Rooster, where'd you go?
That's stealthy I am.
That's how stealthy you are. Get you up soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Haha.
So as you head out here, you see this woman
Okay.
crying
Alright.
out.
Annalise, is that your character from the one
Alright.
shot?
No, Uma's
Yeah,
much
that's
shorter
right.
and much more haggard.
Okay. So, box them.
Help!
Chowder!
Help! Someone! There's children inside of this cave.
Wait, did I detect magic?
Oh, that's right. You're going to detect magic. What's the range on that?
Ah, jeez, Louise.
I think it's 60 feet. Let me pull
That
it up.
sounds very right. Oh, here we go. Wand of magic detect. I don't see a range.
We're going to say 60 feet just for now.
Okay.
And we're going to just do a little bit of measuring here. Super easy here on Yellspire.
She's definitely a witch.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's a witch.
Definitely a witch.
The witch.
Thinking we're looking at a magical witch.
You pull up the wand, and it's basically as if
Oh no!
you click vision on to like a different wavelength, a different frequency, and what you see is you first see the brightest of these sort of magical blips are coming from these two stones that are on either side of the cave mouth itself. But the next brightest is coming from this old woman who now you can see very easily is not what she appears to be. What you see is this hunched, sinewy, sickeningly green-skinned, hunched humanoid figure with this black hair that's just waxy and bunched up along the sort of like stuck to the sides of its face. And
Do we all see this or just Chowder?
just Chowder.
Oh, okay.
And you see that this figure is like just wearing these like tattered rags, and their fingers at the end of them have these horribly long claws. You've heard about these beings, but you thought that they were relegated to fairy tale. What you see before you is a hag.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Chowder, you're the only one that sees this, but everyone else, they sort of turned and sees you just sort of stealthily pointing your wand. You still hear the voice mellifluously carried through, and everyone else sees just this incredibly just friendly looking old farmer lady calling out.
I say, all right, that's far enough, madam.
Oh, yes! Oh, hello, hail, adventurers! Please, over here!
Let's see. Ah, shit.
There goes our stealth. Are the rest of us still hidden though?
I'll say yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait, so she only sees me?
Yes.
You just introduced yourself.
All right. Okay. wait. But I thought she saw us. I thought she was running out to see, or at least me, or someone.
She was calling
Was she
out
not?
to the reverberate hills.
Oh shit! All right. Well, too late. All right, that's close enough. What seems to be the problem, madam? Just taking the air.
Now, just to be clear, without the wand up, you see this just welcoming older human woman speaking with you. It's a bit of cognitive dissonance to know
Sure.
what is underneath this magical guise.
But I can't forget.
No. And you see this woman say, "Oh, I was out here picking mushrooms for my family, and it sounds a lot like the gnome. And and I was out here picking mushrooms for my family, and I saw these 2 young children wandering through the woods, and I called out to them, but at the sound of my voice, they ran right into this cave, and I went in to follow them, but I know the unmistakable smell of owl bears, and this is an owl bear cave, and I went inside and saw that these children are just cowering before these 2 huge owl bears, and it's that all of you hear the sound of Bertram and Pippa calling out, "Help! Help us! Somebody help us, please!" Help! It's like it's tough to hear. "Help! That's them! Please come with me into the cave, please!"
Well, madam, I have to say thank you for your assistance. I'd be happy to, and then I point at her and I cast polymorph on her.
Great.
To turn her into a sloth.
Everyone, let's go ahead, and I think it's time to roll some initiative.
17.
17.
Okay, 12.
18.
Great.
I got 12.
Fantastic. So, just gonna go ahead and
Wait, but I mean, I wanted to spring this on her. I wanted to surprise her with that.
I know. Technically,
Okay.
with the rules of Dungeons and Dragons, you only get an official surprise round if you are attacking from cover.
Oh,
So,
okay.
let's see where they fall. And let's just see where these guys end up. That's a 19. All right.
Ah, that's
Great. So, Chowder, you begin to go to cast this spell,
Yes.
and it is here that you feel the incredibly horrifying just realization that there are 2 beings right next to you as they all pop out of invisibility.
Oh no!
And you see 2 more hags appear as you then look quickly back to the first one, and she has dropped any pretense. And they all start cackling at the top of their mouths. Their cackles mixed with the cries of children. And it is there that we are going to leave it, y'all. I'm going to leave this intense music up. Because this is where we're going to leave it. Y'all better come back and see what happens when the familiars go up against a coven of 3 green hags. Level 7, y'all. Level 7. Wonder what's going to happen. It's going to get real. We've got some polymorph casts coming up. We've got some... it's going to be awesome. So I am so super pumped that y'all are here with us. And stick around. We got
Captain Chowder die on the first round.
We're gonna see what happens with these claws, huh?
No.
Well, you can say it, Alex.
No,
So-
I've got some tricks up my sleeve. I'll never die.
Attack from the side.
I love playing Dungeons and Dragons with you folks, and I love playing Dungeons and Dragons with you folks who came to watch us. We're going to get back to the current storyline as soon as possible, but next week, please do join us for our slew of amazing guests that we're going to have. They're going to be super sweet, and we're going to get some cool backstories, some cool information from other parts of Faerun. But until then, oh gosh, that was so much fun. Until then, it was so much fun for me, but I never forget that our intent is all for your delight. Until next time, y'all, catch ya later.